going to teach you why an investment schedule is so important and why I'm so obsessed with this thing. I literally look at it every single day. It also teaches you how compound interest works and how important it is, because I don't think a lot of people really understand how compound interest actually works. So this is my investment schedule. It basically says I'm going to earn, a 10% interest rate per year, and that's based off of an average of the S&P 500. My starting balance of this schedule was in October of 2025, so that was my starting balance. And then it basically lists everything I will invest every single month. And then, there might be some months where I invest more than others. So there's an extra column. And then the interest column is basically saying, hey, you should earn 10% every single month on your money. And then it basically says an ending balance. This will happen month over month. And it'll basically show how your compounding interest is actually working for you. So it'll continue to grow over time. So right now I have my goal in here of $4 million. I hope to be more than that, but that is my first goal, is to hit $4 million, because my husband and I would like to retire at least around 40 years old, or, at least have the option to, if, we want to stay with our jobs or whatever we want to do. So here's where I will hit $1 million for the first time based off of these projections right now. I can tell you right now I'm actually gaining more than 10% on my investments, but obviously that won't happen month over month, year over year. So I'm keeping it at this 10%. It'll show, when I hit $1 million. And this one actually, so I have updated it since then. So I'm actually on track to hit $1 million by 31. But this actually says a little later, but that's fine. So this is just for visualization purposes. So as you can see in the fourth column over in the yellow, that is where, we'll start taking out per month. And if the interest is $23,000 a month, ideally I want to pull out, maybe $10,000 of that. That way my investment will still grow year over year. And especially if I don't need, $23,000 a month. And obviously there's going to be those years or months where I don't gain 10%. So I don't want to pull out $23,000 and have my investment basically not grow. I'm going to put $20,000 in here as an example. So ideally, I will still have interest of $23,000. If I pull out $20,000, I will still gain $3,000 of interest based off of a 10% average interest rate of return. That is still good. That is still, I'm not depleting my investment. I am depleting it a little, but it'll still grow over time. And that's what I want. I don't want to ever lose money, basically. So if I scroll down here, by 50 years old, I should have, 60,000. That number will change depending on, how much I contribute, if I continue to contribute, if I, take out more, stuff like that. I don't know what's going to happen in 5, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. But this schedule is a good indication of where you'll be, and it really just helps you understand where your finances will be. I think the biggest pet peeve, especially with my mother, like, she doesn't know how much she spends per month. She doesn't even know, okay, maybe I'll have $2 million to retire, but it's like, okay, will that cover your expenses? Like, it just stresses me out. So I'm in the works of building her an investment schedule so she can understand how this compound growth is actually working and what she can pull out per month without actually, losing money. I know there's this big thing that, you don't want $1 billion, by the time you die, which this also helps. So if, let's, for example, you're gaining $165,000 per month, you're going to want to pull out near that or at that to continue to draw down your investment. Obviously, some months you can be a little more conservative with that, but this way you can actually understand how much money you have left versus, guessing and, oh, I have $20,000 left and I still have X amount of years. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to work? No. So this is a really good schedule. This basically shows that I'm actually, $12,000, $13,000 ahead of schedule. So ahead of the 10% interest that this schedule is going off of, which is pretty good, especially for this year. This year is kind of wonky with, politics and the market going up and down all the time. So I'm really glad about that. If you liked content like this, be sure to hit that follow button because I'm sure to tell you guys all about this investment schedule, amortization schedules. I literally have so many schedules I can tell you about. So